where are people investing those dollars? If they're not doubling down on the internet, where are they putting that money? And that's on distributed communication, integration, or connected experiences.
Richard, next question is for you. From a technology investment standpoint, Brandon made a case for the internet being easier to predict, manage, and deliver. What's your thoughts on that?
First, I think facts, okay? The internet spending is down. If we look across the board, right, the amount it takes to buy and build an intranet is much, much lower than it used to be by a significant margin. An intranet takes a fraction of what it took from a time perspective to implement. The internet number of vendors, like vendors that build intranet solutions, has decreased. The reality is the intranet isn't as significant an area of employee experience investment as it has been in the past. I do believe that that is factually accurate. Why is that? Now, you could argue that that's probably because Microsoft and others have moved up the value chain and they provided a good enough experience for many customers. It enables them to get going quickly, and that most of the core capabilities of an internet are there and ready for you to use if you use SharePoint Online or these capabilities. So the question then is, where are people investing those dollars? If they're not doubling down on the internet, where are they putting that money? And that's on distributed communication, integration, or connected experiences. It's not that you build an experience and invest further into, let's bring people to the intranet. That is absolutely the wrong way to think about it. Where you see the investment today is, how do we bring the intranet and the value it provides to people where they are? How do we improve the employee experience, the digital employee experience, in meaningful ways? And that might be, as an example, creating something like a company communicator that uses Microsoft Teams to push key messaging to people in channels and in IM messages to people where they are. It could be things like further investing in something like Viva Engage or communities, social platforms, again, typically alongside the intranet, but not in the core intranet experience. And again, those social platforms are more and more being consumed by places like Teams. Viva Engage literally is a Teams experience first and foremost, where I go and am able to share my voice and do things like that. So I think there's a lot of other areas. Viva Goals, Viva, like pretty much anything Viva is generally a better investment to move forward with. Viva Topics, which I've already talked about, than investing those dollars on furthering the intranet, unless you're furthering the intranet in a way that moves away from it as a place to go and moves closer and closer to connecting and integrating it throughout the employee experience. So ROI is absolutely the case. And I think in this particular instance, it's on my end of the debate that, the intranet is not the best place for that investment.
Excellent. Brandon, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Viva Connections. I mean, Viva in general, because Viva Connections is exactly what the next stage of the internet is. Microsoft noted, hey, this is not going anywhere. We want to bring it to where people work. So let's integrate it with the collaboration space. And let's empower you to put the internet front and center, like I often recognize and recommend to our customers. Let's put Viva Connections at the top in your app drawer, because guess what? You only get 6. And every single time I'm able to articulate and recommend this with absolute certainty. People love this. I have now my collaboration spaces and my communication spaces in one area. But that doesn't change that it's an internet. It is an intranet. Again, it is an intranet. People are investing in Viva because it's new, it's fun, and it's actually quite effective. But we're not forgetting the internet. It's still there. It is the pinnacle of that communication space. To speak to other areas of communication, right? We're going to talk about company communicator. Great tool, great tool. If I want to send a message to a certain group of individuals, I can fire that off if it's been prepped and it's done correctly and my governance is set up, and it's great. But it is micro communication. And you know what? I know a lot of customers that would love to be able to facilitate this, but they just do not have the capacity. But also, you have so many plates that you need a designated individual within communications to be able to trigger this on a regular basis, right? It is there, it is maturing, and I think that tool will really benefit a lot of customers. But let's not lose sight of micro communication, or pulse checks, as Amazon loves to do it in their pulse surveys daily, to communication mediums, right? I'm letting everybody know. Let's not forget the audience, that the internet is for everybody, where everything else that's being suggested today is siloing. I do not think the world needs more siloing. I think we need more transparency and openness and better experience overall. So yes, Richard's right. We fuse the two together, or at least we're going towards where we work, but The internet's just following along. It's doing just fine on its own.
Great.